Hi guys, welcome to Let It Out with Sadiq. Our guest today is Oleg Mironchikov, Master Tennis Pro, College Recruiting Director with Tennis Innovators Academy. Oleg, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, guys.
For some of the audience or viewers that don't know who you are, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, like I said, my name is Oleg Mironchikov. I'm an assistant director of operations at Tennis Innovators Academy. I manage all aspects of the business, from managing to teaching, and college recruiting happens to be one of them. Originally from Moscow, Russia, I played tennis since I was a baby, about 6 years old, and worked up to a pretty high level. Got noticed by American coaches, got a scholarship, came to the United States, had a blast playing college tennis on D1 level. Went on to pursue my master's degree as well. My education is in marketing, and been with TA from the inception, one of the founding fathers of this place, and we've been around for 8 years, and it's been a blessing, and very happy to be here with you guys.
Well, that's awesome. Thanks for coming. So we're gonna start off with college recruiting. A lot of players, young players, junior players, they want to 80%, not all, they want to get to college. They want to know about the top schools. How long have you been recruiting players for college?
Well, I would say it's my third year now.
Third year?
Third year, yep, and I've been very active, and we had some successful placements in the last couple seasons, and our graduates went on to play for very, very good tennis programs across the country, like Claremont McKenna College, Fairleigh Dickinson, Mary's College, Vassar, and others.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Leading to our next question, what level of players does colleges look for?
Well, I think it's definitely a big question, but I think it's about connecting the two worlds, what coaches need and what a player needs. Some of those schools I mentioned, they're a mix of between D1 and D3, very competitive programs, but
Yeah.
every program is very very unique. Every coach has different needs, so it's about finding what a player I work with wants and see if we can find a suitable college for that player.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Leading to the next question, what are the top three things to consider when looking for college?
I think the top three, I would say definitely be realistic with your skill set, right? Where you stand as a tennis player. That's going to help you narrow down your options, as well as academics. Some schools are a little bit more flexible with their admission requirements, others are very strict. The highest ranks of schools, they want you to be an amazing tennis player and a phenomenal student. So you gotta have it all, so definitely academics, you having good grades, being a good tennis player, these are key things. Sometimes geographic region may matter. Again, based on my experience, some players are more keen to be in a northeast of the country. Others want to move out west. Some are more flexible. And the last thing I would say is, it would be which program do you want to pursue? What field of studies you want to be in? Because again, some schools, let's say if you want to pursue a psychology major, there might be certain schools who are really good and really well known in that area. But then they might have a poor math program, and if you are into math, let's say, maybe you want to go with something else. So it's a combination of factors.
Oh, that's awesome. Also, leading to the next one, what are the chances of going pro after college? Because I know I've seen a lot of players that they want to go pro, but they're 18, they're done with high school. So is it a good idea to go to college and go pro after, or do you just take the pro pathway?
That's a great question, Sadiq, and I think I'm being asked that a lot more recently, especially as we see a lot of success stories out there on the tour. Still not too many, but I think you will see the numbers change over time. It might take a couple more years, and you'll see more and more college players already on the pro tour. For example, my generation, you had to choose, and for me, my results were good, but maybe not as good where I could give up on education and say, hey, let me go ahead and pursue the professional route. So I chose college tennis, was very happy with it, and continuing to improve my game. And a lot of players, they make the same selection. Now, to go back to your original question, I think it's possible, but again, you have to be also realistic. As you grow your game through college and you're getting more mature and experienced as a player,
Yep.
your body, your mind are getting stronger. If you do want to pursue a professional career, I think by senior year you would know. You kind of can see where you're at compared to the rest of your peers, and you can try a couple pro tournaments, but at a minimum you will have a college degree, and if something doesn't work, you can always find a job,
Yep.
build a career. In terms of chances, they're still very slim. Like I said, there are a lot of success stories out there, but still very few make it. But I'm hopeful that will change.
Thank you. So I'm going to have a follow-up question to that, right?
Yeah.
So what are the top 5 colleges you recommend for someone that wants to go pro after college? So I want to go to college, I want to go to pro after.
Right.
What colleges would you recommend? Maybe top 5, top 3 colleges for
There's
players out there?
definitely. There are a couple of schools that come to mind. Maybe like Stanford, UCLA,
Mhm.
Northwestern, Michigan. Yeah, I would say these are the couple that I can pick on top of my head. Probably. Again, it's a very. There are a lot of good competitive programs out there, and
Yeah.
this is just a handful of schools I named. So there's a lot more. And the players in those programs, they play on a professional level. In fact, a lot of them, if you look at their rosters and you look at their playing history,
Mhm.
they have professional points. They play in WTA and ATP Tour. Yep. Yes, absolutely.
That's awesome. So our next question would be, if you were to look for college right now, what would you have done differently from what you did?
You mean like
If you were to
Back
start,
then?
yeah, if you were to start your college application, a 16-year-old, 17-year-old junior trying to go to college, what would be your move? What would you have done differently?
Well, what happened to me was I worked with, back then, we have to remember, that's been over 15 years ago, so
That's a lot.
iPhones were not around, internet was around, but it was not at the level, it was not 15, it was 18 years ago, so a long time ago. Facebook recently just came out, so you can see how long time ago that was, but connecting with coaches was difficult, but I was able to find a company, a sports marketing agency that,
Mhm.
like, they would be your agents, like a middle person. They connect you with American coaches, and they create that introduction, and if things work out, then you get recruited. So with that setup, I think I was happy based on with what I had. I don't know what else I could have done different, to be honest with you, or would have been doing better. Some kids prefer to contact colleges directly, and sometimes it works, but I always strongly encourage to have this representation. I think it plays a big role, and that is my job here. I leverage my existing contacts, and I continue building connections every day with new college coaches, new teams,
Yeah.
and having that relationship with someone really matters. Again, some people could be black and white and just strictly look at the results, but that personal touch matters. When you have several, because you got to remember that universities, they not only talking to you, they were probably talking to another 15, 20 potential recruits in the same year. So if you have 3, 4 players who are the top picks,
Yep.
and you only have to pick one, and the candidates are pretty much similar with their results, their resumes, who would they go with? So in moments like these, already having an agent or representative who vouches on your behalf, it really helps. It might get you a spot on the team.
That's awesome. Good to know. So leading to our next question is, a young player, junior player, how much time do one need to spend on the court twice a week of 3 hours to get to high level college, pro, possibly pro? How much time does a younger junior player needs to spend on the court?
I would say, you're probably looking, I mean, when you're very young, you're not really spending a whole lot of time on the court, maybe a couple hours a week. And then typically, in my experience, what happened to me, and I see I'm grooming other players out there who are like 8, 9, 10 years old, over time they get more serious and they're getting stronger physically, mentally, they're able to handle more workload, so your schedule increase from, being 3-4 hours on the court to being 10 hours on the court. If we're talking about teenagers already, assuming that you've been playing tennis since you were 5-6 years old or younger, a typical 13-14-year-old should be spending 20, 25, 30 hours on the court, at least. And then, talking about pro, you're looking to spend maybe 5-6 hours on the court for sure.
5-6 hours.
5-6 hours on the court, combination of and private hitting sessions, hitting with peers, tournaments that will be separate. Also, lifting weights, doing fitness, strength and conditioning. So you want to have this well-rounded approach, training. So if you can create that, which is difficult because when you're playing that many hours, you probably can't attend school.
And find the balance.
Exactly. Not many players or families are willing to take that chance unless, they're ready to take that risk and see what happens, or the player's really showing so much potential at a younger age where it's like, wow, maybe we should try it, But on average in this area, we're located in White Plains, New York, at Westchester County. I would say a player that's, goes to a good school and still does well in terms of grades and trying to make something out of themselves and training quite a bit. I would say they spend about 15 hours a week. As a teenager, they was probably spend between 15 to 20, right? And then, like I said, if you're in a homeschool environment, it's going to be much, much more.
Oh, that's awesome. That's good to know. Thank you for the college question. We're going to dive in a little bit outside of that. You published your first book, Mastering the Act of Tennis, back in 2017. Could you please tell us a little bit about your book and where we can find it?
Absolutely. So, actually, I believe we have it here.
Yeah.
If we can showcase it.
Mastering the Act of Tennis.
Right. So I had this idea some years ago. It took me a long time, about 4 years to write this book. To take the whole project from start to finish. So it's been a blessing. It's been a difficult road, but very pleased I've done it. The book is connected into 3 different sections. So you have, I like to call it a handbook for coaches and players, right? So everybody can benefit from it. It has drills with diagrams, which is geared more towards coaches, things you can try with your students. That will help you develop the game all around. There could be rally drills, there could be dead ball feeding drills out of the basket, a lot of creative stuff. Then it also has some strategy suggestions for singles and doubles play, and finally also mental toughness tips, right? How do I handle stress? How do I play better under pressure? How do I stay more concentrated and things like that? And I actually sell it on our company's website, so you can always check it out, and you'll see the link in this video.
What's the website? What's the website?
TIAacademies.com.
TIAacademies.com.
And you can find it there.
Awesome. Here's the book, Mastering the Act of Tennis. And are you currently working on any project? If yes, would you mind sharing?
Absolutely. In fact, I am. I'm working on my second book at this moment, also about tennis. The focus is quite different though. It's more business related. Basically, how to run and manage a market a tennis academy, from maximizing revenue, how to correctly structure programs, make it successful, sales, marketing strategies, to managing staff, taking care of the billing, the pro shop, you name it, everything that has to do with day-to-day operations of a tennis business. So I'm hoping, I'm still working on it.
Do we have a date when it's coming out? Should we be
Unofficial
looking for?
date, yes,
Yeah.
would be sometime in 2024, hopefully.
Whoa.
So we
Okay.
still gotta wait a little bit, but
Yeah.
promise you it's worth the wait.
Oh, awesome. So we are all looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
We can't wait for it to come. So I'm just gonna ask you, a couple more questions. So it's general related questions regarding tennis. Which player would you prefer to work with? A talented player or hard-working players?
I would say, again, in my experience, I worked with both types. I personally like to say there are magicians and then there are robots, right?
Magicians are robots.
Magicians and robots.
Whoa,
So
that's
if
okay.
we pick somebody we'll know really well, like
Yeah.
Novak Djokovic, is a robot. Roger Federer is a magician, right? So, and obviously they're, they reach that point where they have both skill,
Mhm.
talent, they're hardworking, right? From a junior player who is just still working the game, I would say hard work beats talent.
Hard work is wrong.
Yeah, I've seen too many times talented players just wasting their talent because they don't have enough grit. Things in the beginning come
Yeah.
easy to them, but they don't understand the value of hard work. And
Mhm.
it's our job as coaches to be on top of them every day, and we try our best.
Yeah.
And but a lot of it is on the player as well, and some turn things around and
Yeah.
become successful, but others fall behind. So if I have to pick, I would say hard-working player for sure.
Hard-working player. Here we go. Yeah, we got it. Thank you. So our next question is, what are the basic commitment you need from a player as a coach?
Basic commitments. I think just be committed to improving every day. You're out there on the court. Putting your best effort. I think that's all I can ask for. That's the biggest thing. Be on time. Be respectful to your peers, to your coaches. Listen. Put in the work. And success awaits you.
That's awesome. To our viewers around the world that are watching, what one advice would you give everyone that's watching?
Advice in terms of.
Advice in terms of general advice, calls, college, recruitment, anything.
Well, I think one important thing that we should have mentioned about college recruiting. If you guys if you guys are dying to play college tennis, right? Start thinking about it early, right? So the training regimen, everything, right? By the age of 10, 11, if you decide like, okay, I want to, by the time I graduate high school, I want to play for a top NCAA team, the work starts then, when you're very young. You don't just wake up one day and it's like, oh, hey, let me go play college tennis, especially at a high level, right? So I think planning ahead, and the second part is most players should start the college recruiting process, I would say, the summer before their junior year. So that gives you 2 years for the process. We would sit down, go over your goals. You kind of already see where your tennis is at that point, so we can have pretty good idea where you're gonna be 2 years from that point, right? By the time you graduate high school, and it still gives you enough time to adjust your training, your tournament schedule, right?
Yeah.
Still work on your game.
Yeah.
You have enough time to continue to be motivated to improving. In terms of general advice, I think the biggest thing is, have fun. We're out there to enjoy, whether you want to play high school tennis, college tennis, pro, you gotta enjoy it. It's the best feeling when you go out there on the court and you're able to sustain a rally, and I believe Federer said, who would have thought it would be so much fun to hit that yellow ball back and forward, the yellow fuzzy ball.
Yeah.
It's such a joy. Just go out there with your buddy, get a sweat on. At the end of the day, it's a healthy sport. It's, you learn a lot of life skills from it, your perseverance, your work ethics, time management. You're going to be a different breed of a person. Professional athletes in general are very different from everybody else, and tennis breeds success. It instills certain qualities in you that will extend well beyond the tennis court in your relationships, in your career, and everything you do.
Oleg, Thank you so much for coming
Thank
on
you
the
so much.
show. Thank you, Oleg.
Thank you for having me.